Two that have missed it. There he is. There we go. Hooked up. Hooked up. Oh, oh, that's not a bad one. Got it. Oh, I waited and everything. Sunlight. Oh, wow. Oh, got it. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Ooh, dude, that's not a bad one. There we go. And we're currently losing a rod.
Larry catches the biggest bass.
I was getting my tackle ready for a video that I really enjoy doing on the channel. I call it 3 Lakes, 3 Lures, where I take 3 lures to 3 different lakes. I give myself an hour and I try to catch as many fish as I can. And the whole purpose of the video series is to kind of like show y'all, hey, if I'm going to a pond, this is what I would like to throw, or this is what I think would work, just kind of based off looking at the pond. And I switched it up last time I did it, and I gave myself like a type of lure. So if I chose like a crankbait, I gave myself my box of crankbaits instead of just one, because it is kind of hard just to give yourself one, because you get out there and then, you know, if you have another one in the box, it kind of eats at you. It ate at me the whole time if I had one that I thought would do better. So I was looking at my box yesterday. Well, earlier this week I went out and I was like, man, I wish I had a frog. Man, I wish I had a frog. And I was looking at my box earlier. The one I have is super beat up, and I'm not sure how many big old bass it's gonna be able to handle when we start catching them later. So I was like, I need to come to Academy and grab another frog. Hopefully they have them out. It is early in the spring, and well, not so much hopefully they have them out. Hopefully they have them, because it is that time of the year where people are just going crazy over fishing stuff. And it's the best time of the year. Honestly, it's like Christmas for fishermen. So with that being said, we're gonna run to Academy. Hopefully they have frogs, because it is a little early, I think, maybe for frog fishing, but you know, you can get it done. So we're gonna see if they have some frogs. We're gonna get some frogs, and we're running the 3 Lakes, 3 Lures Bass Fishing Challenge today, so stay tuned. Academy got the music in here blasting today. All right, so the frogs are right there. I'm just walking down to see if they have any more options. Let's see. The one I had, I'm pretty sure, was a Booyah Pad Crasher. One little tip for y'all when you're picking out a frog to go fish with: the top color of the frog does not matter at all. It's all about what's underneath the bottom of the frog. So you want to look at the belly of the frog to make your selection based on the top color. You could paint the top hot pink, purple, blue, whatever. It's all about what's on the bottom, because that's what the fish are gonna be seeing. If your frog's going the right way, unless you want it like upside down on the water, which I mean, teach his own. Be a little weird to me, but you know, I'm a pretty big budget guy. These are really the cheapest. They have the H2O Express, but I've never really had a good experience with a cheap frog, and all these are super small. I like this size right here. All right, I think we're gonna get this Booyah Pad Crasher right here. There's no color name on it. Bullfrog is the color name. Guys, the ultimate video for me would be like if I could go back to like the 80s and 90s when bass fishing was first really starting to take off, and I could buy $20 worth of tackle and leave the tackle shop with like $300 worth of stuff nowadays. I pay $8 for one lure. That's outrageous. That's like $8 that you could put in your gas tank, or like, there's just so much that you can do with $8. That's the quarter pounder with cheese meal at McDonald's. Like, well, I guess you could also eat the bass. Like, there's different ways of looking at it, but $8 for one frog, man. I kind of feel ripped off. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like I got ripped off. Like, back in my day, $8, when I was born, my hospital bill was probably about $8. Like, that's outrageous to me. But I mean, it is what it is. All right, so in the morning we are going to go fish 3 lakes with 3 lures. So we'll probably have like one lake that'll be a topwater lake. We'll have another lake that'll be whatever lake, and then the last final lake will be a whatever lake. But so deep, I feel like what is going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. We are out here. We are running the 3 Lakes, 3 Lures Challenge. Big reason why we're out early. We're not out here at like crack first light, but we're out here fairly early. We still got some fog on the water. It's because we want to do a topwater thing this morning. I didn't know it was gonna be this cold this morning. It's not super freezing cold, but it's probably in the like low 50s, high, or definitely low 50s, not high 50s. Or mid to low 50s for sure. But with that being said, we're doing our 3 Lakes, 3 Lures Challenge today in our new kayak. I said it yesterday, but the premise for this video is 3 lakes and then just a type of lure. So if it's topwater, we're doing topwater. If it's like soft plastics, we're doing soft plastics. Crankbaits, fruit sides, square bulls, whatever. This is our first lake right here, and we're gonna do topwater in this one. I'm thinking frogs, because there's a lot of grass around like the outside of the pond, and then in the middle of the pond, which I have been lucky before and caught a couple just like open water blind casting. I'm thinking like a chopo, maybe a buzz bait or something, like something, you know, with a prop style bait on it. So yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna get into it. I'm super excited for this. This is the first time that I've been out like early morning with intent for catching fish on topwater. So we'll see. I haven't seen too many blowups, but I'm seeing some like small ripples. I haven't seen any for sure bass, but that doesn't mean they're out here or not out here. So pond number one, let's see what we can get into. Now I feel like I should tell you all this. I have not been on this kayak yet. When I say I haven't been on it, like I have not been on it at all. This is actually the main voyage in it. So this kayak is a new to me kayak. It is a used kayak. I got it from the native facility when I did the factory tour. See, it has like sand on it right here. So guess it was used in a little beachy sand, but this is pretty much the exact same thing as the Bonafide. It just kind of has more storage in the kayak. It's a little bit bigger and it's definitely heavier. Boom, and it floats. Awesome. So this is actually my first time ever being on this thing. These videos are kind of going to be recorded out of order to where like I'm showing y'all the kayak for the first time in a video where I've already fished out of it a couple of times. So if I look like I'm a little unfamiliar with it today, that's why. Which I'm familiar with the platform. It's just the whole, you know, new style of kayak. One thing that I do like about this kayak off rip is the seat has like a bungee to where it stays upright. It doesn't fall over and fall forward when you're sitting in it. So that's a big plus. You have pretty good space. I will say, I think the cockpit is not as wide as like an autopilot, but it's definitely your front deck. I said cockpit, your front deck. I guess you could say cockpit. All right. I think we are good. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, this is a big kayak. Definitely the longest kayak that I own for sure, without a question. Man, this one would really be sweet with like a motor or some sort of propel system to it. Scoot our seat up and get everything nice and comfortable since this is our first time on it. We're good to start fishing. All right, so plan is this grass and weeds right here. I was out here a couple days ago and I saw a couple light spots. I'm not sure they were beds or not because, you know, sometimes there are just light spots in ponds, but we're gonna say that they were beds, and I mean they were not in a lot of water at all. So I really think that these fish, oh, we gotta lock our drive in. That's always a good idea. All right, drive's locked in. But yeah, so I saw a couple light spots and I think it might be a decent area to try to catch a couple. This is the frog that we're throwing. It's the exact same one. I was actually able to find the one that we were throwing this time last year. I was like, might as well start off with it. Just because it's been so good to us, I feel like we shouldn't switch off from it immediately. So I'm gonna start with the OG frog, see if maybe we can trigger one to come up and eat. Man, this boat's pretty sweet. It feels pretty smooth, just kind of like slowly gliding on the water. Feels pretty stable, has like a good second catch point to it. It does feel a little uneasy, like as far as stability goes. I don't know, it feels like it kind of rolls, but I don't feel like I'm gonna flip it. It just feels like it has a little bit more roll to it, which I don't know how that would do in like a kind of uneasy situation, you know. Like, oh, I just spooked one from right there. Like, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's gonna flip, but it feels like it has like the Bonafide and like my other old towns, like it kind of, they don't really have as much like roll to them. This one kind of feels like, you know, you could roll it over if you, like if I tried hard enough, I feel like I could roll this one over. The water's fairly warm. I think this could definitely work for us today. We just gotta find the fish. One thing that I will say about this pond, it's super weird finding a pattern out here. And then also it seems like when you catch one out of a spot, normally there's like 4 or 5 more kind of in that spot. And it's just getting them to bite. Like you might have to kind of circle around and come back to them. The water is definitely warm enough for them to be eating topwater. It feels like it should be warm enough to see one on bed too. Last time I was out here, I didn't, but like by the end of this week, next week,
Yeah, there's no like one on bed out here. I don't know what to tell you. We had a lot of rain the other day when I came out here, so I really couldn't see in the water that good, but it gets pretty shallow. It's kind of like the further back you go into the pond, so definitely would not surprise me to see a good 3-4 pounder on bed back in here somewhere. All right, basses, don't do me like that now. You can't show yourself and then not actually be where you showed me at. But we do have one bite, so that's promising. It's a start. It wasn't the biggest bite in the world, so I don't think it was a big one. But sometimes, like with topwater bites, the ones that don't seem big are like the, you know, decent fish. But it's all good. Not gonna lose any sleep over that one. It's just a start. I think of that as like, okay, they will eat this frog this morning. But there's nothing like getting out early. There's nothing better than getting out to a pond early with a topwater rod. Fog coming off the water, you got a little bit of grass to fish. Like, got it. Oh, I waited and everything. What did I do wrong? Dang. Yep. There's the first one. I waited, I gave him some time, I felt for him. I got lucky, I didn't see that. I wasn't even looking at the frog when he ate it. And if I was looking at it, I 100% would have missed him. Even though I did miss him, but I gave him a second. I bet you he'll eat it again though. That's two that have missed it. There he is. There we go. Hooked up. Hooked up. Oh, oh, that's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Whew. Sorry, Mr. GoPro. Ooh, boy, there's not a bad one. Oh yeah, come here, boy. Oh, that's actually not a bad one at all. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, he choked it. He choked it. He doesn't have it good though. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh. Look at that one. Cha-chunga, cha-chunga. I've been watching Cars. Cars is one of those movies that gets better the more you watch it. And Chip Hicks, he's like, cha-chunga, cha-chunga. Gotta get a little Instagram with this one. I will take it. I will take it. Spit it out. I said he wasn't hooked that good. He's actually hooked immaculately. Awesome. I mean, that's a good 2, maybe even 3 pounder, debatable 3 pounder to start off the day. Larry catches the biggest bird. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I love you. I'll see you later. Boom. There it goes. Boom. First one on the OG frog, baby. How did that look? Did it look pretty sick? The hook said no. Try to make it as cinematic as possible. I thought I was gonna flip my GoPro. Like when I set the hook, my mind just went to like my GoPro's gonna come unscrewed and fly off. Now I wish I wouldn't have said that, because now that I said it's probably gonna happen today. That's like my biggest fear, is like I'm gonna set the hook one day on a fish and my GoPro's just gonna go like, I'm gonna hear a sploosh and like, yeah, that felt pretty good. I will say this is like, I sit up pretty high on this kayak, and I've never really been a big fan of sitting down on like a kayak or just a boat in general. Fishing, I just kind of feel lazy. But like, one, working this frog, it's kind of easier working a frog for me, just kind of being parallel to the water. I want to fish kind of slow. When I stand up, I find that I make like a lot more sporadic casts. I know what I'm trying to do here. Like I'm trying to pick apart this little grass section right here. So it kind of makes sense for me to be sitting down. It forces me to fish slower when I sit down. So when I'm standing up, I'm like looking all around. I'm like, oh man, I need to go over here, over here, over here. And I probably wouldn't have even made it all the way to this point if I was standing up, because I would have seen a blow up all the way over there and just chased it. We'll say it pedals good. I know the question's gonna come one day, like, Larry, what's your favorite kayak? Y'all are gonna have to give me, you know, probably until about September to fish out of all the kayaks, because all of them have a different purpose. Like the autopilot is gonna be just pretty much solely for tournament fishing, or if I have something really big that I wanna do, you know, something that's gonna be a all day thing where I know I'm gonna have to like go out 10 miles somewhere. Like there's gonna be 10 miles worth of maneuvering through a waterway that I, you know, just don't want to do by myself, or don't want to do with a pedal drive kayak. And that first fish choked the frog too. That's a good sign. Always a good sign when the first one like eats it good. And then the sun's kind of starting to come up on this side. So maybe that's what we were missing out on. We just needed a little bit of sunlight. Oh, wow. Oh, got it. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Woo! He jumped out of the water for that one, dog. Boom, baby. Well, I hope there weren't. Oh, that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one either. Hey, you chill out, man. Why are you so angry? Nobody's angry but you. You jumped out of the water for that. Did you see what you did? Did you see what you just did for that frog? I almost dropped my rod in the water. Dude, did you want that? Are you hungry this morning? Awesome. It's fish number 2. We got 2 fish. Definitely we got 4 pounds this morning with 2 fish. Oh, I brought my catch board. I forgot. I wanted to see which one or which pond will we catch the biggest fish out of. I forgot all about it. I brought my catch board. I would have weighed that first one or measured that first one. Any fish over 9 pounds in Alabama is like it's like a trophy size, or like you're considered like a master fisherman or whatever. So I'd really like to catch one over 9 if at all possible. Ooh, boys, look at that one. Oh, that's a good one. Shoot, yeah. 17.5 inches. And that'd be a nice one to have in a kayak tournament for sure. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. That first one's really good. That one's 17.5. That first one was probably 19 maybe. All right, we got 2 this morning, and we are only 20 minutes into the challenge. We still got 40 minutes out here, so definitely not angry at that. And then also we want to throw a chopo. We haven't even made it all the way around the outside edge of the pond yet. If we want to throw the chopo, we're probably gonna have to put some pep in our step though, but also if we're catching them on a frog, like I'd much rather be catching them on a frog than a chopo. There we go. Got him. Got him. Oh, he broke me off. No, he didn't. Yeah. Oh, he got off. He got off. He got off. I was like, dang, dude, you're pretty strong. You broke off 65-pound braid. Is that a sign we should retie? No, I think we're Gucci. Oh, man. See, that would be one of the ones that would, like, you would think would be a big one. Just because the eat wasn't that big. He felt pretty good, too. I'm not sure if he was in grass or anything like that. Yeah, we decided to skip all that out there. It was pretty deep out there, so I'm not sure how well. Or I'm sure there's like grass in the mat, or there's fish in the mats back over there, but I think over here might be a little bit better as far as just being able to catch them on a frog at least. Neat, like to be able to punch or throw a Texas rig or something like that over there. It's fairly deep. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling that one was probably the biggest one. I'm not saying it was like a 10-pounder or even a 5-pounder, but I think that probably was a decent 4. So something about that tree was just calling me. I was like, yeah, there's probably one that needs some love on that tree right there. All right, 8:07. We went 7 minutes over, but I think, well, actually probably went about 10 minutes over because we got out here at like 6:50 something, but you know, it is what it is. We were catching them, so there's a little grace period if you're catching fish. If not, we're like, all right, we got to get out of here. But yeah, so we caught 2 in the first pond. Biggest was 17.5 inches, so we'll just say 18 because the first one that we caught was bigger, but we didn't measure it. But we'll just give it an extra inch, half of an inch. So we're gonna pop this thing out and go onto the net. All right, so this pond is gonna be a little bit different. I'm not sure what I want to throw in here because honestly, I haven't caught too many fish out of this pond. All the fish that I have caught out of this pond though have been pretty big. So this is gonna be pond number 2. And this is where the video starts to get a little bit interesting. That something jumps right there. I think we're gonna switch between like a slobber knocker, coal shad, and a Texas rig in here. The biggest fish that I've caught out of this pond, I caught on a black frog, like middle of the summer. one evening out here, like one evening kind of later, you know, 6, 7 o'clock where it starts to cool down a little bit. So I have had one really good day out here, but I'm not sure what they're going to be doing out here. Should it be like a Texas rig bite, or should it be more like a, I don't know what moving bait, but just a moving bait bite in general. But like there's a couple spots in here that are pretty decent. I think we start off with the slobber knocker. This is a little custom swim bait trailer that we made for it. And the only reason I'm only bringing one slobber knocker, because I kind of want it to be more of like Texas rig based, but we are going to start with a slobber knocker. I'm not sure how many like light soft plastics we have also. We are doing pretty good so far. We got 2 fish so far, 2 pretty decent fish. Our best chances of catching one are either going to be on a moving bait or like a slobber knocker style bait. Oh, dude, oh, we got one. Oh, from the bank, we caught one. It is not bad. What? On the slobber knocker. Dude, you freaking cranked it too. That's longest one of the day for sure. What? I saw one like spook out of that grass pocket right there when we first got out here this morning. Didn't think that I'd be catching one from the bank right here. I'm just happy the camera was on for that. That's one of those that like you would not believe if I didn't just do that. Do we start the challenge now? Oh man, that's a big one. Okay, we're gonna just count that as a little bonus catch, I guess. Just swim off. You just swim off. I'm so sorry. He just that is 100% my fault. I should have laid him down like flat in here. I think that one's about the same size as the other ones that we caught. It looked like when I sat him down, it looked like he was going to be about 17 something inches. So yeah, we got 3 fish today, all super healthy so far. But also I think it'd be better if we fish the slobber knocker for right now. Go ahead and like fish a moving bait, kind of figure out where are they at, because we did catch that one on that little grass patch. So I think this might be the smarter option. Just try to slow down our retrieve a little bit. That's not where we want it. Oh, come on, slobber knocker. Get out of that tree. At least we can get it back. It's not a bad one. A little quick tutorial on a bobber stopper. If you're like me, I used to see these things in Walmart or Academy or wherever all the time, and I'd be like, how do you use those? All you do is thread your line through one of the little guides, like just stick your line through the little hole and just pull it up onto your line. It's as simple as that. Looks like there would be this like whole complicated process to doing it, but pretty simple. Making a little peg Texas rig right here. Nothing to see here. All right, we got our little chigger craw, or champ craw, excuse me. All right, we got the perfect size hook too. Cool. It's gonna be our lure number 2 option. good to go there. We're gonna keep up with the slobber knocker for right now. Man, this is crazy back in here because I didn't even really see too much action anywhere. So that's kind of making me kind of hopeful for the next pond that we go to, that there'll be a better crankbait bite out there. Just because I think it's weird that, like, normally when we get back in here, it's like you see fish swimming everywhere and whatnot, and it could just be like time of day. It is, you know, starting to get to that middle point of the day where the sun's up and everything. So this morning, you know, it could have been crawling with life, but right now it's honestly pretty dead back here. Like, even Texas rig, I'm sure there's probably some fish like in the mats tucked up and away somewhere, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know where I would start out here after that. I would probably start on that side of the pond, throwing like a frit side or a slobber knocker or something like that. But next pond, crankbaits, moving baits, frit sides, money badgers, all the juice, all, you know, all the recurring juice that you see on the channel. So I'm excited for this next one. Last but not least, we got good old cranking pond. Try to get some of this water out of this kayak before we put it in the water. I think we're gonna have a little bit of company out here with us. One thing we are gonna grab is our sunglasses. So, with that being said, we are gonna find us a good old crank to throw. I only brought one frit side with me, and that's the red one. I think we're gonna tie on a money badger also. Trying to see what color do I think will be best. Yeah, I like the 12-foot. So one of the cool things about this pond is there's like a drainage pipe, and also the water is fairly dirty. I do not like this pond in dirty water. Like, I normally don't do the best, but oh my gosh, that's what you want right there, a good backlash. Normally don't do the greatest in dirty water conditions out here. But there's a couple really cool things about this pond. So there's a top pond to this one. And if you're fishing the top, whenever there's a whole bunch of rain, the water from the top pond drains down into this pond. So that's something that we have going for us. That's pretty cool, because that, you know, just flowing water always kind of means fish, or a potential to catch fish. So we have that potential there, and then also there's like a little small creek over there that water runs into this pond from. So it's a spot that we could probably throw that red frit side and maybe pick up a couple bites right there. Might not be that bad of an idea to tie on a like chartreuse, something like purple and chartreuse. I think I might have a purple chartreuse money badger. Oh yeah, we got a couple of them. We might switch it out. See how we do with this, and then we'll. See, this is what I mean, or this is what I was saying earlier. When I was like, I'd get out on the body of water and I'd only have one lure tied on, and I think something else would work better. Let's see, I like this one right here for this. Dives a little bit deeper. I don't know, should we go purple? Same size, I think we go chartreuse. This one is a little bit different though. Okay, I think we throw this one just because it's a little bit different. The color on it. I think chartreuse is kind of what everybody would think of, but this is just something that has a little bit different look to it. So I think that'll be the smarter option there.
Much later.
All right, it is currently 10:41. And I'm sitting at 0 fish. I mean, it is fishing. You don't always catch one in an hour, but we're gonna try. I do have that crawl that we fished in the last pond in the kayak with me because it was on one of the rods that I'm using now. Oh, that was a tree. That was a tree. What were? There's one. There we go. That's not a bad one. There we go. And we're currently losing a rod. There's a lot going on. Oh, did we bring the net? We did not have the net. Oh well. Little hand land it is, baby. Oh, he does not have it good. Boom, baby. He doesn't have it good. We gotta be careful with him. Little old hand land it's gonna be. I like to land you with my right hand if at all possible. Or can we flip them? Let's try to flip them. Let's flip them. Flip, boop, boop, boop. Awesome. Welcome to the channel. Your few seconds of fame start now, so if you have anything cool to say, I suggest you go ahead and say it. So once I get you, once you get unhooked, you're going back. Awesome. Not the biggest one of the day, but it's a good one. It's a good healthy one. It's a nice thick one, especially in a time such as this where we almost hit an hour without catching one. I was like, there's no way we're not gonna catch a fish. It's easy to say after you catch one, but I was like, there's no way we're not gonna catch a fish within this next hour. Boom, that's our first one, boys. Good old fritside fish. I tell you, fritside never let you down. Good old thick fish. I bet you there's some little baby bass in there. Got a good thick tail. Tail's a little, not really red, but you can see it's kind of starting to turn a little bit, like you might be doing a little bit of spawning action, like it might be coming up. All right, there we go. Dude, this tail on this fish is so thick. Like it's like meaty, very meaty tail. Awesome. See ya. Thanks. I thought that fish was a little bit bigger than it actually was. So when he hit it, he had put some authority on it, hit it with a little bit of pop. Oh, there we go, right at the boat. That's a good one. That's a better one. There we go, right at the boat. On that frit side. You ate that pretty good. Oh, only one hook. Oh. On the frit side. On the frit side, popped right out. That's why we didn't boat flip them. I thought about it. I was like, nah, we better not. Yeah, thick one. It's almost like they're about to make more. Like this one's probably thinking about multiplying. Like, huh, I need to spread my genes here pretty soon. See ya. Awesome. That one was right underneath the kayak. I think that's the #1 thing that I've learned, like just from bass fishing in general, is being consistent is key. So like, you know, when the hot part of the day comes, if you're out there, you know, if you're competing, of course, keep casting. But like, if you're just out there starting to get frustrated, put a moving bait in your hand and just keep casting it out. You know, zone out, think about something else. Look at the trees, be thankful for the day, you know. Count the squirrels in the trees or whatever, but just zone out, keep casting, because it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. I think a lot of fish are just missed because people zone out. You sit down, you get on your phone. Like, while you're out on the water, leave the phone in the truck, dog. Like, you don't need it. All right, let's see. Oh, there's a big bed back there. Big bed, big bed.
All right, guys, that is it for the 3 lakes, 3 lures bass fishing challenge. We ended up with 5 fish. I hope that it was somewhat informal for y'all. Hopefully y'all could pick up on a couple of things. I love this video just for the sole purpose of there are 3 ponds. We take 3 style of bait. We have to switch them up, figure it out, and we just try to catch a fish on every single one of them. And it kind of puts in perspective of like also on the backside of it, what fishing is really like. You know, just because you watch a 30-minute video and you see 20 fish in a 30-minute video, a lot of times, you know, if you go hour by hour, there might be 1 fish an hour, there might be no fish an hour, there might be 4 fish an hour. But most videos are like, you know, they could be 2-3 days of fishing. So but yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about it. Also, the new kayak is sweet. I haven't done a reveal video on it. I haven't like, you know, exposed it to y'all yet. So this is kind of, it's weird how YouTube works, because I can record a video and then like record another video later and then post the older video after the one that I recorded first, if that makes sense. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, thank you all so much for the support on the channel. Don't forget to fish them hard and have a good day. Any video suggestions, anything that you want to see, any boats that you want to see on the channel, any lures that you have questions about, drop it below in the comments and we'll do our best. You know, I like to think I'm not sure if I call myself the people's champion or the people's creator. Yeah, we'll say the people's creator. So whatever y'all want, just let me know in the comments. All right, guys, thank y'all for the support. Don't forget to fish them hard and see y'all later.